Coming up on Hawk TV, we take a look at softball and baseball's new field,
an early graduate,
and the impact of community service.
Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Cooper Kukin.
And I'm Hadassah Coley.
And this is Hawk TV for Friday, January 23rd. Last year, Hebron Wrestling won second and third at UAL State Championships. Adrian Naimago takes a closer look at this program's growth and how receiving more recognition each year motivates them to win each match.
With wrestling being a fast-growing sport, recent success from Hebron Wrestling turns an increasing amount of heads each year. The growth has provided the team a chance to showcase their talent with more of the student body. Taking part in the team since his freshman year, Alexander Barros gives the differences in treatment wrestling has received since he entered the program.
Yeah, definitely my freshman year, they wouldn't even announce us on the announcements for anything, but now, every time there's announcements, they announce if we compete, if we have placers, I feel like we're getting more recognized.
Receiving this new traction, the girls' wrestling team has started to be seen amongst the other sports at Hebron. For it being her second year as the female head coach of wrestling, Coach Maria Mulero notices her team's newfound rising popularity comes with its changes.
It feels good. For my girls, I think it feels really good for them. They're like, oh, people are actually, my teacher's asking me about wrestling and stuff. And, before they wouldn't. So they tell me when, people bring up wrestling. But yeah, it does feel good. And honestly, it's not enough what we get. It's not that much, but it does feel good that people are recognizing that we're here.
Wrestling being placed in the second semester, having less students and interaction in pep rallies, Barros brings the possibility the sport would have with the student body opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. If we had more pep rallies, if we had more recognition, in the big arena, then we'd be a bigger sport. But it doesn't bother us too much. But, definitely would get more recognition if we got the pep rallies like football and basketball did.
Coming from a captain's perspective, Annalisa Afrifa sees the underappreciation wrestling receives proposing a change.
Honestly, just more people coming out to support would be nice, knowing your teammates are supported or your classmates also see what you do. I think would be nice.
Mulero looks on a larger scale of what she wants to see from the community to further appreciate the hardworking sport that she coaches.
I think I would love to see for every student to know that we have boys and girls wrestling at Hebron. I would like for them to know that we have really high-level wrestlers on our team, and it would be really cool for middle schoolers to already know that there's wrestling teams that they can look forward to joining.
As wrestling continues to grow in popularity and is being recognized as a major sport that Hebron offers, the players and coaches look towards the future where the amount of appreciation the school gives to the team equals the amount of work the team gives to the sport. Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Adrian Naimago.
Thanks, Adrian. Go support Hebron Wrestling at the upcoming playoff match on January 28th.
Junior Dominic Minetti will be graduating the class of 2026, planning to pursue a future with his band and his education. Chloe Kim takes a closer look.
After watching Pink Floyd The Wall, the movie at 11 years old, a passion for music ignited in Dominic Minetti's life and inspired him to explore his interest in music genres.
That thing in that one movie where you see the little Italian man and he's floating up out of his theater seat. That's how I felt listening to The Wall for the first time, because it was amazing. And so from there, though, I just got into music, just hardcore music, every genre I could find, looking into specific years and every album that would come out this year, the top singles to come out this year, just all sorts of stuff. And I love music, so yeah.
Dominic is the bassist and main songwriter for his band Gator that he started in 2024. Now he plans to graduate early in his junior year. His history teacher, Jeremy Milhouse, shares insight about how early graduation is the right path for Dominic.
For Dom, yes, I think high school serves a purpose for a lot of people. I'm not sure that it serves that purpose for Dom. I think Dom has his own, Dom kind of, pardon the pun, right? Follows his own, the beat of his own drum, right? So he kind of does his own thing, and so I don't see, that it would like that for somebody like him.
His friend since 6th grade, Avery Ostentowski, supports how dedicated Dominic is to his music and interest. She admires how he has been working for his future all throughout his life.
As long as I've known him, no matter what obstacle comes in his way, he's always pushed through it for his love of music. And I think that's a really admirable trait to have, to be able to love something so much that you pursue for it.
As he collects his credits, he's one step closer to pursuing his passions in college, music and psychology. Dominic details why from his own personal experience.
It's given me so much of a different outlook with it, seeing so many people and seeing so many people struggle who I never, like, people who you can't even ever imagine, I feel like the fact that mental health is so important to all of us, equally, is just something that I think I could. It really interests me, and it also is something I have a passion in, and I think I can make a change in.
Although not taking a conventional path, Dominic is ready to face his future.
Many people that have that vision, that desire, that even drive, and kind of almost single-minded focus on a specific. There are some, but I think a lot of part of high school is people trying to figure out who they are, what they want to be. I think he already kind of pretty well understands that. So.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Chloe Kim.
Thanks, Chloe. To find out more about his band, check @Gator on Instagram. A junior has created and runs a widely known nonprofit. Gabby Valdez takes a closer look at how the organization has expanded.
In 2024, junior Shay Patel founded All Around Hospitality, a nonprofit organization that collects clothing for homeless shelters. The team gathers their items from hotels and donations across the community. Patel gives us a closer look into the donation process.
So we get the clothes starting off from the motels and hotels. It's usually stuff that people have left over, like clothes, shoes, toys, a bunch of random stuff, because Goodwill and the Salvation Army, they accept all that kind of stuff. So we take all the stuff that was left over. It usually stays in my garage for a while. At the same time, we collect stuff that students are willing to donate from Hebron. And then we take those clothes and we drive to downtown or the local shelters and we donate them all.
The organization has grown tremendously since the start, having donated over 3,900 pounds of clothing across Texas and Colorado through contributors and student leaders. Junior Shrima Adula, who stepped into the role of vice president in 2025, explains how social media has had an impact on the program's expansion.
I think it grew a lot more from last year. I think especially with social media and our Instagram page, because I think we're always trying to find different ways to promote it, because we used to do we post Google forms, and then every small interaction we have with people, we kind of always bring it up, and then they share it with their friends and family and everything.
Driven by a passion for helping others around her, Patel founded All Around Hospitality to create a meaningful way for students to give back. By offering service hours for donation efforts, the organization makes community involvement accessible and rewarding. Patel shares the vision that inspired her to create the nonprofit.
Out of all the things I could be doing, I wanted to make this nonprofit because I could see the immediate result of the people that it was helping, because the clothes that we donate at Goodwill and the Salvation Army, I'd see it on the shelves the very next day of clothes that were actually lined up that people could get.
Every month, leaders of All Around Hospitality meet with one goal: to make sure every donation reaches those in need. As they work to bring their mission to campus as an official club, more students step up to serve a purpose they believe is more than just an organization. Adula highlights her perspective on what this mission truly means.
I feel like it's something that I can bring up to the table or the conversation if people have, because I feel like it's such a small thing people can do that would have a really big impact for a lot more people.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Gabby Valdez.
Thank you, Gabby. If you're interested in volunteering, check out their Instagram at All Around Hospitality.
In May, the LASD board approved the initial projects from the bond, voted in spring of 2024, including Hebron's athletics facilities. Anya Kachar takes a look into how the construction has impacted both the baseball and softball teams throughout the school year.
In 2024, voters approved a $100 million bond from the district, which contained fundings for upgrades to schools and athletic facilities across Louisville, including the complete modernization of the school's baseball and softball complexes. However, the construction of the facilities began in December of 2025, causing a conflict in the off-season for both sports and their training for the spring semester. Junior Giselle Gomez talks about the initial challenges of adapting to the new situation.
When I was playing, it was hard because we couldn't get certain balls as hard, or we couldn't do certain drills and stuff like that just to represent a game situation, so that was harder, but we managed the best we could.
Due to the ongoing construction of the fields, multiple sports have had to adapt to using the indoor facilities such as the arena turf room. While the change was an inconvenience to the style of practice, Gomez states that most adjusted to the change fast.
I feel like everybody really worked hard, adjusted with all the situations we had, because there was always oh, someone's in the turf room today, or soccer's in the turf rooms. We couldn't be in there, so it was hard, but everyone managed.
Not having access to their home field during the off-season forced changes to the team's normal training schedules into more weight room and agility training. Now that the season is about to begin, sophomore Landon Bonner talks about how the players now plan on using their training more on the field this season.
We're just super eager to get out on the field, that we just want to keep pushing and give it our all, just to try to do it in the weight room and then transfer that onto the field.
After using the same facilities for the last 20 years, the players have expressed a newfound gratitude in the construction and plan to take it into their on-field headspace. Head coach Chelsea Herndon talks about the attitude shift she has noticed amongst the players.
I think having all new facilities brings a whole new attitude to the girls and to the team, and just being thankful for what we have, but also appreciative, so it can step up your level of play. Right now it's kind of the same, but hoping that as we get our games and more experience on the field, it'll become more advanced.
Not only has the new facilities changed their mindset on the field, but also has created a sense of respect and motivation to honor their school and teammates. Coach Corey Farah discusses the behavior change seen in the players.
Yeah, I think one of the cool thing is that now that we have this new facility, it's a lot easier to talk about the word pride and taking ownership and pride in this facility, to where, we want to keep this thing as nice as possible, and so it's up to us to upkeep it now that it's brand new. We have a fresh start, and so that's one of the things that we're really trying to preach to the kids right now as a coaching staff.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Anya Kochar.
Thank you, Anya. Make sure to stay updated on their socials for more information on upcoming games.
In other sports news, basketball plays against Marcus today at 7:30.
Soccer also plays against Marcus today at 7:30.
And girls wrestling competes at a district tournament on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m.
That's all for today's episode. I'm Cooper Kukin.
And I'm Hadassah Coley. Have any story suggestions? Send us a message through one of our social media accounts.
And make sure to follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok.